Reacquainted is definitely an extension of what I've done in the past. You know, my debut project, It's My Will, was a very safe project. It's a project that I'm still extremely proud of. You know, I can still listen to It's My Will with a great appreciation, but I know that if I had an opportunity to do those songs again, where my voice is now, that a couple of them would have even been at a much different level. So, you know, I'm thankful for the project and the debut and what it did for me, and you know, I'm just glad for the transition vocally that has transpired over the course of the past decade. But this is a wonderful project, and I'm just excited. You're going to have your ballads. Absolutely, the ballads will be there. Got some wonderful up-tempo tracks there. Got a little funk music mixed in there, so I think it's something in there for absolutely everybody, and I think everybody will enjoy it. I'm falling in love. My favorite song that I've ever recorded. I don't know. You know, my thing is, I have written literally hundreds of songs, so I think that any song that I ever choose to put on a project is one that I believe in, one that I believe is strong, one that I believe is solid. I don't know, I can speak to, on Reacquainted, there are a couple of songs here that I really love. I mean, I love the lead single, Candy Coated Raindrops, and that melody just came so easily to me. I was just thinking one day, and I was writing, and it was one of those songs that just flowed really well, and just the melody, I wanted it to be simplistic, but I wanted it to be, you know, something that was catchy and something that people could relate to, and the lyrics just started flowing. So that's one of my favorites on this project. But I'll also say, Falling in Love is you know, I love that song. Painful Times, you know, that's a heartfelt ballad. That's one that you know, I'm singing on that song. Painful Times, you know, I'm really singing on there, you know, so it's hard to really say what an all-time favorite would be. On the Caught in the Act project, I actually did a take on Luther Vandross, Here and Now, and you know, I just always have loved that song in general. So I think with me, it's any given day, any one of the songs could be my favorite. I know that I find myself when I'm in the gym listening to Falling in Love, you know, and I'll put that on repeat, and sometimes I'll listen to that 4 or 5 times over and over and over. Sometimes at night, when I'm winding down, I'll put on, you know, I'll play Satisfied, and then, you know, I'll play that 2 or 3 times. So, you know, it just kind of depends on my mood, and I think that's one of the things about my music is that I'm consistent and I'm going to deliver. So, you know, identifying your favorite might be hard. It's going to depend on what you're dealing with at the time. Musical influences. Well, of course, you know, what I always say in general is that I love singers. I love people who have a deep appreciation for their voice, people who take care of their voices, or people who know how to use their voices. They take the time to study their voices, not necessarily formally trained, but people who have taken the time to get to know their voices and to study those who came before them. You know, I think of people like Luther Vandross, who to me epitomizes greatness as it relates to male singers. And you know, we know him pretty much in the R&B realm, but he had a voice that was smooth enough that he could have transitioned to, you know, many other genres and added a level of smoothness to that. People like Gladys Knight, who I consider, you know, a vocalist. People like, you know, I'm a fan of Harry Connick Jr., Michael Bublé, John Legend, people who just really sing, Alicia Keys, Avant. I'm a fan of Avant's music. I think he has one of the nicest tenors, you know, to date. He just has an amazing vocal sound. You know, when I think of probably the greatest singers that have ever graced the earth, I would venture to say probably for males, you know, you're going to have some tough competition. You might have Luther Vandross thrown in there with, you know, some people say Frank Sinatra. You For the female side, for me, it's pretty cut and dry. I would say absolutely Whitney Houston, hands down, was probably the greatest vocalist from a female that anyone has ever heard. A lot of people will argue for Aretha. It's a tough toss up there, but you know, great people. So my influences just range, all across the board. But and I'm hesitant to say influences. I always say these are people who I enjoy, and I don't really see that I've taken too much from any particular person, but I've certainly enjoyed and appreciated their gift and what they've had to offer.